Hello, people. My name is Chandler Edwards, and you are listening to the second episode of Intermission. I am here with my co host
Richie.
and a very special guest. Please introduce yourself, Mr. Yes.
I'm the stage manager for the show. It's James Daly.
James Daly,
A lot of enthusiasm there, Chan.
welcome to Intermission. How do you feel being on the podcast for the first time?
Well, honestly, it's an honor to be here. As many podcast guests say, but also a little nervous first time.
First time.
Hopefully, the first of many.
First, yes, please come back all the time. But today, as you read on the title of this podcast, we will be talking about Clue.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite fall drama.
Everyone's favorite show, Clue.
For those, obviously outside of this, and even just some of the new crew guys don't understand how much that show lives in infamy for us.
For some good, some bad.
Well, infamy isn't good.
Well, there were some good things to it.
This is some.
It was fresh. It was fresh.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
So, Clue is a very unique show because as when you walk into a theater, you see all those seats, all those chairs. So that's where the audience usually sits. But for Clue, they're sitting on stage with the actors, and it was really different. And um, when you guys first heard that was happening, what were your first reactions?
Honestly, that was exciting. Black Box, we had never done anything like it before. I mean, by never done anything like it, it's like we didn't do it for Jersey Boys, which was our last show at that point. It was our first and our most recent. So it was interesting. It was cool. I was like, okay, we can work with this. And then I realized, or I was informed that uh, I would be working the lights with Tyler and Paul, and we would be sitting on stage, and we'd be on stage for the production, and that was interesting.
James, any?
I was definitely. I mean, it's kind of excited because it was new. Having the people sit on the stage with the actors, but it was also really like, frightening. Like, we have only done one show up to this point, and it was Jersey Boys because this was our sophomore year. So we never knew what a regular drama would be like, other than the fact that there was no singing. So it was, brand new. I didn't have to worry too much though, because I was the assistant to the props manager with Anthony Dorenzo. So our jobs didn't really change. We just had to collect the actors' props and hold on to them when they needed it. And that kind of stayed the same throughout every show. Nothing really different with them being on the stage.
Yeah, my job was also the same. I was sound effects in Jersey Boys, and I was also sound effects for Clue, working with Antonio Cafaro. And I also had another person next to me, the one and only Derek Fraga. But we did our best. It was fun. I was in the balcony, and it was really different. But do you guys remember any funny moments from the production of Clue?
Can we just speak of, or are we going in any particular order, or is that got something?
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So one of part of the cast of Clue was Ryan Diaz. I love Ryan. I miss him. He's has such an immense stage presence,
Great personality.
great personality. Um, but he was a big guy. Um, so there was a scene where the entire cast of Clue went around and back through the seating and ended up in between the audience and where our table was with our lighting equipment. That's how close we were to everything. To this day, I don't understand why we had to do that, but it is what it is. And he almost knocked over the monitor we used. Well, thankfully it was during tech, so it was no live audience or anything, but he saved it and he gave me the most horrified "I'm so sorry" look I've ever seen from him at least. And then on one of the actual show dates, he very nearly missed it and he just gave me a look of, the look that you'd expect of just like, oops. But yeah, that was very funny. Anyway, where were you, James, during?
Oh, I was just on stage left and not even like on stage left because again there were people sitting there. I was in the hallway of stage left, so I didn't see anything really. The one thing I do remember, which, in the moment wasn't very funny, but afterwards was kind of funny. One of the actresses had to make a very quick rush to the side of stage left to grab a prop during one of the scenes. And considering how close the platforms were to the door, one of the platforms didn't actually match the doorway and it kind of stuck out a little bit. So she's like running back and like tripped and kind of almost fell over on the floor while she was grabbing her prop. Good thing she was okay. And in the moment, it was like, oh my God. It's like, are you okay? Like, you just fell over on like pretty hard on the floor. But looking back, it's kind of funny.
Well,
Yeah, do you have anything you want to say about the Clue experience?
Let's see. My the scene I can remember the most is probably the chandelier scene. When Mr. Portanova told us to play, what was it, Phantom of the Opera?
yeah.
And the chandelier fell down slowly on top of JP. That was a pretty fun scene to do. And for this show, I had a lot of sound effects. Usually, for the musicals, I would have up to like 12 or 15. This show, I had 58 sound effects to do in one show. And the crazy thing about this show is it's one act. There's no intermission, no breaks. You just do it and then do it until the show's over. So yeah, this show is really interesting. And anything else about Clue?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
realized, well, if you don't mind choosing. Yeah, I realized we didn't actually kind of explain what the show Clue was.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Based, for those who don't know, based off the Clue board game, murder mystery kind of thing, where you gotta figure out who the murderer is, and the set was kind of set up like a board game with like what is it, six different squares,
we had nine.
no, nine different squares, and each one was labeled it was just labeled dining room.
That's a different room, yeah.
We had like these little boxes on the stage that were decorated to look like dice. Huh. Didn't one of the actors?
Yeah, JP. That's what I was gonna say.
You want to go ahead?
Yeah, so there's a scene where JP played the doctor, and there's a scene where he very dramatically we had those little there's stage boxes for anyone who knows what a stage box is. Other than that, it's just a box made out of wood. That doesn't get much simpler than that. So like James said, they were painted to look like dice, whatever. We use them as set pieces. So there's a scene where he very dramatically, there's a path of three of those boxes, jumps up, and they're not all connected. So you kind of have to hop from each one. And he gets to the last one and he steps a little too far down on the box, and the box tilts, and he's kind of saved himself, but he fell. And
Before a live audience.
it was in front of a live audience. I think someone just screamed outside. I don't know what that was, but it kind of scared me. Um, uh, but yeah, it was in front of a live audience. Everyone had the collective, like, when it happened. I was trying not to laugh. Um, but yeah, that was I think the collective funny memory of Clue. Making the silver lining of a otherwise not fun experience.
Speaking about the set, actually, the process of building a set was different than all of our other sets. I remember we stayed. It was it was we this show was different because this show was in January. We usually have it in but we had it in the winter, and I think we came during the winter break, was it? And we or was it before that?
Well, the show was in January, but winter break is in February.
Oh,
I don't think they had us in during Christmas break.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Yeah, well, because
A stage crew miracle. A stage crew Christmas miracle.
oh my God.
But yeah, this I feel like I don't know. You guys could disagree with me, but even though this is not the greatest that we ever done, I had the most fun making this set.
Well, because it was just painting cardboard on the
But the
floor.
thing is, since it was so simple, we have more like freedom to do what we wanted.
Yeah, in a way, you could, with such a simple task, you could focus on, goofing around with everyone else.
Yeah.
Because, it's not like painting is taking up so much of your time. Though I do remember, I think the most amount of time we spent on the set was making those railings
Yeah.
in the front of the stage,
Yeah.
more than anything else.
Yeah, what was up with that?
So the audience doesn't fall.
Well, no, yeah, but I guess we had to just make sure they were secure and drilling into the stage was frowned upon, though I think that's what we ended up doing.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, I was gonna say something and I told, oh yeah, well, because we keep mentioning how much of a grievance the show was, and we haven't really got into much of that. Um, but when you said about us doing the show in January, that's kind of where all this started. We were off to a bang up start when they announced the show. I think it was to the day, exactly a month before opening night. So that gave us, give or take, 4 weeks to, I mean, for the drama guys to do the drama stuff, but that's really not our problem. Um, but the us to get a set, build the set, and then idealistically have 2 weeks, one for just running the show and making sure the cues are right, and then one for just running the show with all the cues, all gas, no break, tech week and hell week, respectively, as we call them. And it was late October. We'd gotten no word. And then all of a sudden we heard that it was going to get moved to January. And it was later announced that it was because there was something screwy going on with the rights to do the show. So we were under the impression that we had the rights cleared and we were good to go, but we weren't. So we had to move it to January, at which point just scheduling for it was more of a mess than it probably should have been, but we ended up having to do our entire teching process in 3 days or something.
Yeah, it was really quick.
It was like scary how fast we had to get things.
Yeah,
It's like the short notice was really insane.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. It seems we always have trouble keeping the rights to shows.
yeah, that was what happens with
Witness.
witness for the prosecution. It was, yeah, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, with a smaller stage and a smaller show, that means stage here had less jobs. But we gave some stage crew members the job of, I'm using bunny ears, security. And they just stood on stage and they would guide people to their seats. And that was really funny to me because you don't really see stage crew guys as like security.
Ushers.
But they stood there. They stood there and
Oh, they took their job
they
seriously.
took it really seriously. And they stood there, angry faces, just standing
Being
there.
a bugging.
And
You would have thought they were part of the act, honestly.
no, they look like the murderers. And but yeah, those like my favorite memory. Do you guys want to talk about the show we did after that?
What was the Catch Me?
Yeah.
That's a whole episode
So-
for itself.
Yeah, well, we can just make this kind of a sophomore year episode.
Wait,
That's not-
But I feel like for Catch Me, we should bring back one of the scenes
Yeah.
we worked on.
Yeah, we'll do a Catch Me episode, but we can at least talk about it.
Catch
That was
Or do you guys want to do another like infamous type show like The Wiz?
or we can talk about the new show.
You want to talk about the new show?
Let's just talk about the new
Me.
show.
Let's see. This could be a drama show. Fall drama.
Yeah.
Do you want
So now we go to Outsiders.
Outsiders,
Oh,
yeah.
The Outsiders.
Yes.
Outsiders.
I actually really liked The Outsiders.
Outsiders was a book I really liked.
Yeah,
When,
8th grade.
when they were like, "Oh yeah, we're doing The Outsiders," I was like, "Oh, you mean the good one? That's like on Broadway recently?" Oh
Well, no, that
no.
was a musical. That's
Well,
why.
yeah, and I was like, "Oh, you mean the good one? Oh no, we're doing this other one." I still thought it was good.
I loved it.
The only thing I was a little bit concerned about was we just like reused half the set from Catch If You Can.
Well, here's the thing with that. We were supposed to keep that for like
And,
the foreseeable future.
right, and I mean, it would make sense to have like this own spot for the orchestra because we all saw what happened with the Wiz.
And also, yeah, well, and also just having a more dynamic stage like we did for The Outsiders was really cool.
No, it was
I really
nice.
liked it.
I think having like a secondary floor for shows is like first off really cool to
Yeah.
like watch, but also like really cool because like we would have to make it, which is unfortunate that we didn't get to, for the
That's-
show.
That's gonna be part of the Catch Me story.
And you can see the actors climbing up and down the ladder that connected.
Oh, that was worrying.
Oh.
The ladder
yeah,
like in the middle of the set. Like sure it held and sure it was sturdy, but it didn't feel that way when you were
Yeah.
climbing.
The only way we were able to allow the actors to use it was by going on it ourselves a few times.
Oh yeah,
It's just like,
we had to prove it before they were allowed
Yeah.
to use it.
hey, it held. It just,
It worked. Yeah, it worked.
yeah.
You guys remember the day that we tested the fog machine for the show, and the fog went all over the
It would
auditorium?
not stop.
I was so scared that the fire alarm was gonna go off.
But it's not smoke.
Go, oh, I feel like it's
No, it wouldn't trigger the smoke alarm.
it wouldn't.
No.
Oh, but
It smelled like burning.
it smelled like it was.
No,
like
it
was
smelled like chemicals. Or at least the ones for the Wiz did. I don't really remember the ones for
The Outsiders, I remember Anthony Dorenzo was like coughing for like the next 20 minutes after he
You
went
probably
off.
shouldn't be inhaling it as much as he was.
Well, it was the first time he used it, he didn't know how it was gonna come out, and he's like right next to it as it's going off. I'm sure it was also really stressful for him when I had to call for that to go and he had to like be in place and make sure it didn't go off for too long, otherwise the smoke would linger and Portnoy wouldn't be happy with how much smoke was there.
Yeah,
It was a cool effect though.
You know, it was.
with the red lights.
Oh,
That-
speaking of cool effects, the strobe light for the fight scene. That was nice.
That's kind of almost become a staple. We used that. We used the strobe in Clue. There wasn't a. Was there a strobe? No, not in Jersey Boys.
Definitely.
Definitely.
There would be no need.
Yeah. So we used it in Clue. We used it in Outsiders. I'm like,
I wouldn't count. Like if we did use a strobe light for the Wiz, I wouldn't really count it. But the tornado scene was not really a strobe.
we didn't.
No,
I would know. I would know. We didn't.
yeah, that was a weird part of the show where it was like,
It was flashing lights, but I don't call it.
Yeah, flashing lights. I wouldn't call that a strobe.
Yeah.
I did. I really liked the set though. I liked how on like the second in the front of the second floor page there was like the word "Stay Gold Pony Boy" from like the book. I thought that was cool.
oh no, it was a line from the poem.
Oh yeah, that's what
Yeah.
sorry. The line from the poem was like on the front of the stage.
Oh, we also had the sign from Cash If You Can in front of the stage.
Yeah, that was the
Oh,
cool
right.
Easter egg.
That was funny. I like when we like include like things from other shows in the set piece.
Well, we hadn't done that previously.
Right, and I just thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought the whole junkyard aesthetics really matched, the Outsiders.
Mhm.
Of course, this stage looked like a mess. I mean, there was like so much stuff everywhere.
That's
It was
the
really
point.
cool. What was your guys' favorite thing to build from the Outsiders, though? Because we did have to build a couple things.
There was the cockroach infested, what was it, like a bar or something? Or it was a bar, but we
It was
used it
a
for
bar.
something else.
Yes. Yeah, that we had to do a lot of work on that.
I didn't like that one.
Oh, there was the movie sign.
The movie's like,
That was actually really cool.
Yeah.
Did that stay on the stage for the whole show?
Yeah, it was hung up from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it did because I don't think we had anyone move.
No, I didn't think we had anyone doing ringing for that show.
It's
But I also feel like it would be in the way when they were on the balcony.
Yeah.
why not? I think
So
it-
maybe
I think it did go up.
that was really cool. It was really a real shame it wasn't used for very long on the show because like put a lot of work into that. It did come out pretty good, pretty nice.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna.
Chandler, you're awfully quiet about the Outsiders. You have something to say?
The thing is, for the outsiders, I didn't really work on construction. For most part of the outsiders, I just did sound.
What was your most memorable sound effect?
I was remember the screaming children in the fire. It's one of my favorite sound effect. That was the one I worked the hardest on. I went
Oh
home
yeah.
and I tried to find the perfect sound effect for children in fire, and I did it. I did it. And
Oh no, it was a great sound effect.
Yeah, Janik and Portanova were both like, no, that's too, you know,
intense.
yeah, right? Like it's screaming. Why are you so picky? It's
But
getting the point
It had to
across.
be the right children screaming in a fire, though.
I
Because it's such a vast variety of different children screaming in a fire sound.
if you're dying in a fire, you need to make sure you're screaming the right way.
I also want to brag to Antonio Cafaro. Antonio, if you're watching this, I just want to let you
Listen
know
to this.
that Ralph got to do cool sound effects on vocals. You didn't. I did too. So I wanted to say, Antonio, I'm gonna rub this in your face. I got to do cool sound effects for the outsiders. I got to do like this cool echo effect for when what's his
For the
name?
Wiz, for
Ryan Lawrence and the
Well,
Wiz.
for the Wiz, but for the outsiders, what's the his name who died in the fire?
John.
John.
the character.
Yeah, John. So yeah, when he died in the fire, I got to do like a cool, dreamy echo effect. And then when I think his name is Bob dies in the fight at the water fountain, John Bohan screams really loud, and it's like and it echoes across the entire auditorium.
Oh wait, no, I was thinking of the wrong that was getting really nitpicked was the greaser sound effect.
Oh
at the
yeah,
beginning.
that was John.
I do remember that when they were shouting out of the car in the beginning.
I
It
remember
was like they were
recording.
drunk by.
Yeah.
Jonathan Kuzma, I remember recording that. We did that in the shop.
Really?
Yeah. Shop has good sound. Sound.
Oh yeah, it is pretty like it's not echoey at all. Like this room. But anyways.
But being on lighting board, what was your favorite lighting cue for the show? Because I'm sure you remember all of them. All
See, I think you're being sarcastic, but since that was the first show I did all by myself, I actually do remember a lot of them.
what was your favorite one? Because I know what my favorite one.
Probably the fire, because, well, I mean, either the fire or the way the lights go on when Bohan's character dies. Uh, because the fire, I was really proud of myself because I was working with Johnny Guzman a lot. He was kind of a stand-in for Portanova. Um, and at one point during the fire scene, I messed with the master lighting level switch, and I just kind of flicker it a little bit so it looks more dynamic. And he's like, "Oh, I really like that. Can you do that?" And I was like, "Shh, gotta be kidding me." But I liked doing it, and it was cool. Um, and then yeah, the other thing I mentioned, just the lights going on after Bob's death. John Bohan's character I liked it. It was cool. It was like we go from complete blackness to a cool pool of red type deal.
I thought you did a great job with when Ponyboy and Johnny are in the church and the lights go from like the bluish from nighttime. They go to the other side as things go to like an orange for daytime. I thought that was nice.
I
That was
forgot
probably my
about that.
favorite. My favorite lighting cue from the show.
I appreciate that.
I don't know if you guys agree with me on this or not, but I honestly think doing the play is harder than doing the musical.
Chandler always with the controversial views.
Okay, let's argue about it. Let's go.
Okay.
You're very wrong.
Okay, sure.
Start
Yeah.
off.
So at a global view, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doing the musicals is longer hours,
Sure. Yeah.
way more labor intensive usually.
Mm-hmm.
Before I really get into that, the one thing I will grant you is that for certain roles, like myself, yeah, doing the musical is so much easier
Yeah.
because I don't design anything. I just press the button. But in the grand scheme of things, just because of the amount of effort that goes into the musical compared to the drama, that's a take, my friend.
I want to say on the tech side, it's harder because even though the tech is more impressive, and if you have all that stuff, we have all the flying, all the stuff, I feel like you have a lot more support when you're doing your role or your job because I'm by myself during the play. And if you don't know how the soundboard works, for the play, I turn on everyone's mic individually and raise their mic individually. While for the musical, it's all um
Automatic.
automatic. Yeah. So for the play, I think that my job is harder. And Richie, like you said, you have to create all the different scenes and the lighting, and you have to change it automatically and all that stuff. Mozart could just do it for you. And because you have more support, I feel like for the place, you have way more support.
If you want to argue that your job is harder,
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah, that's fair.
Like Chandler, your job may be harder, but that does not mean that everyone else's job is much harder.
I mean, hey, you're entitled to your own opinions. I just think your opinion is wrong.
I think no, I think
As a whole, the drama is definitely easier. Not easy, easier than the musical, but the musical is just miles harder than.
you don't feel less stressed during the musical.
Oh, actually,
You're more stressed
actually, as a stage manager, I think I'm the most stressed out guy there is during the musical.
Who and Outsiders made me way more stressed than Jersey Boys and Patrick Buchanan.
Well, yeah, because your personal job was harder.
Do you think were you more stressed during Outsiders and Clue versus Patrick Buchanan and Jersey Boys?
Well, to be fair, during Clue, I was props, so no, I didn't actually feel an ounce of stress. I was probably the most relieved guy there
Well,
was.
for the Outsiders, what do you feel?
The Outsiders was definitely stressful. It was my first time calling a show.
Let's just take.
Well, for the okay then.
The Wiz was harder though.
Okay, because that also is a little bit of bias because calling the show is a lot harder. Than
Any stage manager can tell you that calling the show is not easy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Even Tyler Dobeck would not agree with Chandler in this
Well, yeah.
situation.
Because like if we were to take, my argument about like, yeah, sure, for doing the drama, it's a lot harder than doing the musicals. If I take Outsiders and Wiz, Outsiders I designed everything. Um, and then Wiz, I sat there and essentially watched the show. I took notes on whatever needed to be taken notes on. Um, but I just sat there with you. I have a really random memory of you asking me what an 8 count was, and I just tapped on the table and for an 8 count, and you were like, oh, okay.
Nobody explained anything. I was like learning on the spot for that show.
Yeah.
But I feel like the best way to sell this argument. I'm sure many of our stage crew alums will be listening to this podcast. I would love for them to give their opinions. Which do they think is harder?
I guess it's because okay, so I'll say I am biased. I'll admit I'm biased.
Thank you.
The thing is, for the play, I'm so stressed and I'm looking at the soundboard. For the musicals, I'm singing and dancing. I'm last episode, what did I say? I was sleeping during Catch Me If You Can. I slept during Catch Me If You Can. That's how beastly it
Well,
was.
to be fair, Catch Me If You Can, you had Antonio.
No, but Antonio was on the soundboard. He had his own stuff to worry about. If anything, I had Renzo. If anything, I had Renzo. But the thing is,
Well, no wonder sound is such a stress-free job. You got 3 people over there.
The one and only time we had 3 people on the lights was for Clue, and that was
And that was like one day.
yeah, but no,
Or no, maybe it was all.
we always have the 3
Right.
people, but that was only because they were like both Paul and Tyler were like teach Richie how to do lights, And like Chandler said, there was a lot more crew guys than there were crew roles. So we were just like, just squeeze them in with them, and they'll be fine. And it was barely fine.
I want to go back to you saying sound being a stress.
I did not say. I said yours. I said you for Catch Me sounded rather stress free. Everything was automatic. You were singing and dancing. You were sleeping.
Mm, okay, but I wanna do another argument. What do you think is harder?
Chandler loves arguing with people.
Because it's a podcast. I want to do more arguments.
Chandler, let's spread some positivity, all right?
Able to have a conversation. Is conversation a better word?
If you could have chosen any fall drum to have during our freshman year,
No, any phone.
you don't know any fall drum?
Yeah, I don't really
Just
either.
any show in general.
Any show in the fall, or any show in the spring.
In the fall, because we didn't do one for our freshman year.
Which
Stranger Things the
No,
first shadow.
that's definitely not happening.
It's not happening.
We honestly, you and me could do a whole episode just talking. You, me, and Jerry should do an episode
Yeah.
just on what we saw when we went to see the real Stranger Things Broadway show because that was incredible.
That was a masterpiece.
I'm still I want to go back and see it again. It was just that good.
I looked into Ticketmaster, and last I saw tickets for like around where we sat were like 50 person,
That's
$50 a person.
I would be so down.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know. I'll do one. What do you guys want the spring show to be?
If I could choose,
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Shrek the musical.
No,
We've been talking about this for years.
no.
I don't know who we is.
So Beetlejuice would be fun.
Beetlejuice would be awesome. And also, I feel like Kieran would do a really good job as Beetlejuice.
I'll do a more grounded show, guys.
No, grounded.
Yes.
Boom.
Jersey
Actually, no, I think I was
Grounded
agreeing with you
show.
last
He's already,
episode.
he's already fed up with the supernatural from the Wiz.
Supernatural's okay when the story's okay, but
I did really like our grounded shows. I thought Jersey Boys.
I think our grounded shows have been better. Okay, all of our shows, even our dramas, have been more quote unquote grounded than The Wiz.
I was thinking about musicals, like Jersey
Yeah.
Boys and Catch Me were just like fantastic shit.
Yeah.
And so I think like I mean we've only done really one supernatural show being The Wiz. I just feel like I mean there's several other factors that are influencing my decision, but the grounded shows have just been much better.
And I mean, we'll see what goes on for 12 Angry Men.
that's a grounded show. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
I would love to. There better be a lot of yelling. I've never read the book, but there better be a lot of yelling. They're supposed to be angry. Alright?
Yeah, really.
I want emotion. I want passion from these guys.
What's the game? Like Ace Attorney, Joey.
Yes, yeah, Ace Attorney. I want people yelling. I want lawyers, and I want angry men. I want angry men most of all.
But since I want a grounded show, the show that I want for spring musical to be is In the Heights. It's a nice grounded show, one neighborhood, and it tells a story about Usnavi and his abuela, and it talks about them winning the lotto, and it's a really nice story. I don't want to spoil it. You go watch it yourself. There's a movie on it, but it's a really nice story. I really want that to be our show. I know some people want Hercules, some people want
Hercules.
yeah, some people want Hercules, and
That'd be good.
heard other things, but yeah, whatever it is, I just hope it's good.
Whatever it is, I want to build something.
Yes. Maybe we'll make that our last point because we just passed the 30-minute mark.
All right, we'll end off on this whole. My biggest gripe with a lot of the shows is I just want to build things. You know, Clue, we didn't really have a lot of that opportunity. Jersey Boys, we built those doors, and to be fair, the whole set.
They almost killed Jason.
Oh, Jason.
That was out of a cartoon, you know.
The way the door just fell forward, and like the hinge moved the door so that he didn't get crushed by it was just. He's a lucky man.
He's very lucky.
That was great. But yeah, I mean, The Wiz, me and Richie built that whole throne for the Wicked Witch.
Oh.
That was
Me, you, and Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony helped out a lot. That was a big job, and honestly, I was really happy with the way it came out.
No, yeah,
But
absolutely.
like for Clue, we didn't really get to build a lot. For Jersey, no, not Jersey Boys. For Catch Me, we didn't really get to build a lot. For The Outsiders, same thing. 12 Angry Men.
There's nothing really.
So far, we haven't built anything.
And if we're lucky, fingers crossed.
We might build a
later
few
that-
walls.
I don't know what, but we might be good to go.
Honestly,
As
what we have right now,
we'll just have
pretty
to,
much all we need.
we'll just have to touch up what we do have, which is not going to be easy, but it's not bad. But yeah, really thinking about it, the only show that we've built the set for was Jersey Boys.
Yeah,
Jersey Boy,
that's a little scary.
Yeah, when we were using all those 2x4s that should have been 4x4s.
in theory, after this play, we will have an empty stage. So maybe, yeah, we might just build.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to completely empty stage.
Well, they forced us to have an empty stage in time for the Wiz. He didn't
Right.
care about the balcony. He wanted his video screen.
The video screen.
Love the video.
That's for the Wiz episode.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the tale of the video screen.
All right.
But yeah, that's it. So guys, thank you for coming.
Real quick before we end off, any stage crew alums listening to the podcast, please message me and Chandler. We will get
And
you on
me.
the show. And Richie,
Yeah, I'm the host.
message us. We want you on the show.
Anthony LeBlanc, Paul LeBlanc, Antonio Caparro, Tyler, if you're not busy,
Jason,
Jason.
Jason would be. I was talking to Jason like last week. He'd probably be
let's
down.
get you guys on the podcast. We'd love to have you just visit, but also like share your experiences that we know nothing about.
Also, any cast members and any past
Oh
cast
yeah, probably next episode or in a few episodes or something. We're gonna have some cast guys on. We already talked to a few, so yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching episode 2. I was gonna call it something around Clue, but now we talked about more than Clue.
I'm sure you can think
This
of
this
something.
episode
Look
was
at the nice
entirely just off the dome. The
No
last
script, nothing. It was really last minute.
what? Okay, don't put it like that.
That's the
Well,
title, off
It's
the
not
dome.
script off the dome.
That's
yeah.
the title.
It would so these episodes aren't scripted because now you made it sound like they're scripted, but
It's almost script.
There
last
was no plan.
there we make bullet point like just topping chalkets. talking
Talking point.
points, yeah. Um
And most of our plans kind of fell apart very quickly last minute.
oh yeah.
But we
really
did
glad, really glad we were able to pull
Yeah,
through.
it's totally off the
And
dome.
it's longer than the last. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Listening.
Listen. Thank you guys so much for listening to Intermission. We're gonna post another one, don't worry.
Come back for episode 3.
Episode 3 is gonna be better than the last
We're
one.
gonna try to get some sort of
Episode 4
posting
is gonna be
schedule.
better than the last one, and so is episode 5. But yes, please come back, listen. It's gonna be a great time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to Intermission. Goodbye.
Later.